Sonido increíble, incredible sound. This is Dr. Mario here at Health, Spice, and Life Show, El Cafecito Corner. And if you heard that and you were wondering, what exactly is that? I'll tell you one thing. It's not an accordion. This is actually a bandoneon. I wish I could really play it well, working on it. Anyways, I want to welcome you today to El Cafecito Corner, a new edition. And I am absolutely incredibly excited. So first of all, wherever you may be at right now, please let me know exactly where you're at. Just type for me. I am in Venezuela, Colombia. Maybe you're here in the United States where I'm at, or maybe in a different place. But wherever you are at, please let me know where exactly are you at and where are you watching from. If you're new to the show, I want to extend the warmest welcome to you to Health, Spice, and Life Show, which we also call in Spanish La Hora Super Latina. And this particular segment within the show, which we've been doing during the quarantine period, called El Cafecito Corner. Now, I'm incredibly excited about some news that I have for you today, particularly about what we're doing in this show today. And but as you know, this is El Cafecito Corner. So what we're going to do first is you start with our coffee. And I like to do something different every single time that we have this particular shows, and it's to visit different parts of coffee producing countries in our hemisphere, because there's so much richness, there's so much diversity. We are simply incredible when it comes to all of these things, what makes us Latino. And the show is truly a show that is a celebration of Latino culture throughout the entire world. There's almost 1 billion of us out there, and it's about time to have representation so that we can be seen on TV and we can talk about what is it that makes us Latino? What is it that is, that je ne sais quoi, they say in French, that thing that I don't know that makes us so unique. And people say, I want some of that. So today we're going to travel to the Dominican Republic when it comes to coffee, and want to see which are the flavors that we have in this particular one. So if you're drinking coffee, please go ahead and do so. If you're drinking tea, that's fine too. But just join me so that we can do some of that. A tu salud. That is simply delicious. As a matter of fact, I like to find some of the flavors in that just to make it more interesting. And I can sense almost like some vanilla, some blueberries in there. Very, very subtle coffee. I was having some of that coffee for my Spanish version of the show. And I said, what a great afternoon coffee, because it's not like when you wake up in the morning and it's just like hitting you really hard. No, it's just a pleasant coffee. So that's from the Dominican Republic. Now, why is it that I'm so excited today about this show? And as you might have seen in the title of the show today is Al Pacino's Latino Side. Ciao. And you may be wondering, well, maybe you don't know who Al Pacino is. And if you don't, by the time that we're done in this conversation, you'll definitely know who Al Pacino is. But if you know who Al Pacino is, then you're probably thinking to yourself, well, he's not Latino. And if you said that, I have to congratulate you, because as a matter of fact, he's not Latino. Al Pacino, those of you who've never seen him, this is what Al Pacino looks like. He's Italian-American, and he was born here in the United States in the city of New York. And Al Pacino is a world-class Hollywood super mega star, known all over the world for some of the most iconic movies that we've ever seen in Hollywood. But today, we're talking about Latino, and we're here in the Health, Spice, and Life Show. So what exactly about Al Pacino and the Latino side? Well, for that, I would like to introduce you to something that I'm so excited about, which is the Zoom, Zoom, Zoom throughout hemisphere. So I am going to get my plane out here, my little kind of old-fashioned looking jet with 2 engines here, and we're going to do some of that zoom, zoom, zoom throughout the hemisphere. This new section of the show, this new segment, I'm super excited about, because Health, Spice, and Life is about celebration of our culture. And there's many countries in this hemisphere that make up who we are, the Latino culture. So today, I want to take you on the first trip we've ever done. It's a virtual trip to a place that is very dear to me, because if I love everything in Latin America, I certainly love this particular country, and it's Argentina. So if you are ready to travel, which I'm going to invite you to, especially now that we are in the COVID-19 quarantine time, I'm going to ask you to travel with me virtually. So I'm going to get completely ready for that. I am going to put my fedora, and also I want to get down there and travel in time to Argentina. So I'm going to put my tango shoes so that we can do some of that. And we're going to take our plane and go with the zoom, zoom, zoom to get down there to the hemisphere. Zoom, zoom, zoom down to the hemisphere. And now we are in Argentina. And I want to talk about Argentina, and I want to talk about tango. So wherever you may be watching from, please let me know where you are. I am seeing here Rachel is saying, I love Argentina too. You're so welcome to be here, and I'm so glad you're here, Rachel. I love it as well. And we're going to touch a little bit on the culture. So welcome to the show, and join me in this virtual trip, the Zoom, Zoom, Zoom of the El Cafecito Corner to get to Argentina. There's something magical. There's something that is incredibly filled with passion about one element of Argentinian life, and that is tango. And I already mentioned Al Pacino, and I want to talk a little bit about that connection of Al Pacino to tango. Years ago, he was involved in a production that was absolutely beautiful, which was known as Scent of a Woman. If any of you are actually watching it out there and watching the show and you've seen this movie, please let me know that you know this movie. If you haven't seen it, we'll definitely put it on the link so that you can at least figure out a way to get to it, because it's definitely worth watching. And this movie was incredible because it's a story about this ex-military man who is portrayed by Al Pacino, who becomes the mentor of this young man who was graduated from high school. And it's basically life lesson throughout the movie. And Al Pacino in the movie is a blind man. That's what his character was. And there's a scene of the movie that is absolutely amazing. And I have to say, if you like music, if you like dancing, no matter what the genre of music that you like to listen to is, you'll have to agree with me that this is one of the most passion-filled moments in movie history. And the vehicle for that to happen was actually tango. The song that was played in that particular scene when they're in this very, very fancy restaurant, incredible place, incredible moment, was the tango named Por una Cabeza. And many of you Latinos might have heard that tango before, which was popularized by perhaps the most famous tango singer of all time as we know it, the man by the name of Carlos Gardel. And in this particular tango in the movie, you can see how the dancers are getting together, the passion that is involved there, the intensity that you can see. Look at the face of the woman, look at Al Pacino. It's simply incredible. But what happens is that tango music, and Rachel is saying, I lived there for 16 months. That is amazing. So I'm sure, Rachel, you might have seen a lot of this music places to go to and so on. But anyways, tango music is just like everything that is Latin. Is filled by the passion, is filled by the magic. And especially when all of this tango started, which goes back to the 1880s, there was this mystique and this air of romance and the smoky atmospheres and the bars and so on, where the music started to evolve and to emerge and be developed. And that's all part of that evolution. As a matter of fact, tango, when it started, it was not meant to be danced between a man and a woman. And initially, it would be danced by high society men as couples. And it did not have the fanciness that we see it in some of the shows. If you've been able to see some movies or see some shows, it was a lot more simpler. Obviously, it evolved over time. But what's really amazing about the elements of tango have to do with the passion and the evolution of it. And I want to share with you one of the things that I'm actually passionate about, and it's the central instrument, which I opened this segment with today, the central instrument of tango music, which is the bandoneon. The bandoneon is not an instrument that was developed in Argentina by any stretch. This is actually initially and originally an instrument that was developed in Germany. And the reason why it was developed is because the instrument came to replace, in some cases, the pipe organs that were placed in the different churches throughout Germany. So much so that in Argentina, they call it el pequeño organito, which translates to the little organ. And the sound of it is absolutely incredible. It's really loud. It's powerful. You can tell how much I know how to play it, even though I'm learning. So I have a long way to go, but I still enjoy it. But anyways, the power of the instrument is such, and the complexity of the instrument is such, that it allows to create this very unique sound that makes tango what it is. And you can't deny that being able to do something like this, even if it's just in our minds, right? To connect with that, close my eyes for a second and be able to feel what that movement is like. It's something that ignites tremendous passion and makes me feel healthy. I don't know about you, but it certainly does, because it ignites everything within us. Something interesting about tango music is that it wasn't, the way it was back then is not exactly the way that we know it today. And we owe that to a very special genius, if you will, that was born in the 20th century, Argentinian, of course, and his name was Astor Piazzolla. So if we have a lot of people from Argentina listening to the show in this very moment, just give us a thumbs up, send us a heart. If this is the first time that you're watching the show, go ahead and subscribe to it, follow us on Facebook, or go to the YouTube channel, or go to Instagram, so that you can connect with all of our different segments and shows that we're doing, particularly because we're going to start now on national TV starting on the first week of June. So you'll have the opportunity to see us across the nation, also as far as Germany, where the show will be transmitted to. And it's a great success for all of us Latinos, because this will be seen elsewhere. Astor Piazzolla was what you would call perhaps a revolutionary within the history of tango. When he started to play at a very early age in all of the orchestras, the traditional orchestras in Argentina, it got to a point that he felt he had just mastered everything there was to be known. And there was just this desire to go way beyond everything that he had done up to that point. And he started to evolve tango. He started to change how tango was, and that created a huge disappointment for many people who had been his mentors and his teachers in Argentina, to the point that the discomfort was such that eventually he left Argentina. The government of Argentina recognized his talent and his genius, and he was given a scholarship to go to Europe to study. And he ended up in Paris, where he was exposed to an incredible group of people that were the creators of the best music of the time. And that became the school for him. And his most influential teacher, a woman by the name of Nadia Boulanger, said to him, forget about classical music and doing all of this stuff. Astor, your heart, your genius is in your instrument, the bandoneon, and tango. That's where it's at for you. He basically, as he told somebody who interviewed him many years ago, took everything he had written, he's tossed it away, and he started to concentrate on tango. And he created some of the most amazing masterpieces that we've ever heard within the genre. How many times have we felt like that, like we have some passion inside of us and we just have to follow it? I'll tell you, being able to be with you here at Cafecito Corner is one of those things for me. Being able to bring this opportunity, this show, to connect all of us, the 1 billion people that have the Latino heritage, the backgrounds, so that we can be sharing all the commonalities that makes us Latino, and share that with the world in a sense of sharing that, unifying us, and just being able to celebrate what Latino culture is all about. So in this show, I am going to ask you the following. Have you been dancing? Because if you're Latino or you like Latino culture, even if you're not, well, dancing is part of who we are. As a matter of fact, we have what we call a metronome, an instrument that is telling us the time all the time, and that's the heart. So if you have not danced during this period of quarantine, I have an invitation for you to get inspired, to get ignited, to get connected once again with the very essence of what makes us Latino, music being one of them. And you're probably thinking, well, Dr. Mario, how am I going to do that? You know, I can't even go to the places that I like to dance. I feel like, you know, all the live music that used to be played is completely gone. How are we going to do that? Well, this is a great thing. The first thing is we're going to bring that inspiration in. And I want you to connect with what is it that genre that just speaks to you so loudly, whether it's salsa, whether it's vallenato, whether it's merengue, whether it's tango, whatever it may be for you. I want you to close your eyes and just think about that for a second. And even after the show, to connect with that. And share that here with the community. I did this and I just felt elated. It was just amazing to be able to connect with something that I haven't done in so long, especially during this time of history. And lastly, let's just bring that music and that dance to transform our lives. And how are we going to do that? I'm going to invite you to go to YouTube in particular and put that genre, whether it's salsa, whether it's merengue, and play that. You may have a dinner tonight, and then after that, you're going to say, you know what? I want to play, even if it's for 3 minutes. I want to have the opportunity to just feel my body alive again. There's nothing that is more inspiring to yourself and everything that is inside of you to be connected with that passion. And something that I have learned throughout 25 years of being in medicine, the most valuable things in life, if they're not moving, they die. So your body is one of them. Everything has to be in motion so that it stays healthy. Your emotional side, your spiritual side, your physical side. So I'm going to invite you to create some transformation in your life tonight, to tap into what makes us Latinos. And if you're not, to tap into the Latino spirit by reaching out to some of those genres, looking them up, and just letting the music go right through you so you can feel that. Let us know what that felt like for you. Share it here with the community. If you're watching it live, I want to hear it now. If you are not watching and you're watching after the fact, that's okay. Please go ahead and leave us a comment. Let us know what that did for you, because I will guarantee you right now, 100%, or your money back, that in fact, you will feel something inside of you that perhaps has been kind of, a little sleepy, a little quiet for some time because of the times we're in. And all of that will activate those juices to be flowing, to be active again, to feel that passion, to connect with that fabric that makes us Latinos. So I can't wait to hear how this has been for you. I am so glad you joined me today here in this first edition of the Zoom, Zoom, Zoom throughout our hemisphere. We'll continue to do this throughout the history of the show so we can take you and have you travel with us to the different parts of our hemisphere and across the world. There's so much to discover. There's so much to see. There's so much to share. There's so much for all of us, even if you're Latino, to see and explore from other Latin American countries, which is simply spectacular. What a joy that we can do that. Lastly, I want to remind you again that we're going to be going on national TV here in the United States, so you'll have the opportunity to see the show on a regular basis every week, starting now in the first week of June, which is so exciting. So I will be putting the link so that you can see where to go to find the information so that you can actually tune in. Like I said, it will be seen here in the United States, also Latin America, and as far as Europe as well. So stay tuned, because the moment has come. So from my heart to your heart, I am Dr. Mario, who's saying to you, a tu salud. See you next time. Ciao.